It is Channel Sport on Sunday, and we are having fun here. Let me welcome my guests. Larry's still here. Larry, you're welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure talking sports.
Jimmy.
Constant. It's always
as constant as Channel Sports.
It's always a pleasure to be.
And okay, my guys are back, and then so we go straight. You just watch the what is happening right there in the East Shanghai Masters, and Jimmy, there is just one master now.
It has to be Novak Djokovic. The way he does it, the resilience, the hard-working nature of this man. I mean, it's really understated, so to say, because it's already confirmed the fact that he's a legend. Because you look at the way he's been able to torment the whole of the field. I'm telling you, the total number of points is amassed this season alone is crazy. Now, you imagine that he doesn't play any single tournament for the whole of next season. He will still be #1 because he's got to lose those competitions or not appear before anybody can even usurp his position. So, you know, having over 12,000, 13,000 points when the rest of the field don't even have up to 10,000, you ask yourself, how are they going to do it? Do they amass Grand Slams? How many can you win in a season? This guy's won 3 out of 4 this season already. In almost every final he's got to. I mean,
he was in all the finals.
It was all. I mean,
the French Open lost to
Warren. I mean, this is fantastic for the man. He's done very well. You know, outlasting Andy Murray, beating. I mean, he's beating the rest of the field totally this season. The only one that we felt maybe if he had won the French Open, playing against Wawrinka would have done him a whole world of good. But it didn't happen. But it's got to be said, he's done very well this season.
Nadal, Larry, Nadal there at the quarterfinals did beat Wawrinka, and we said, oh, he is back. But then we saw him losing to Tsonga. But then finalists are now quarterfinalists. Is this the same Nadal that the fear factor is no longer? But is he coming back to the Nadal?
Semi-final actually lost to Tsonga at the semi-final of the Shanghai.
Yeah.
Nadal, since he came back from injury, he has lost a yard of space, whether I would like it or not. And sometimes when he doesn't play on clay, all other surfaces tend to contrive against him, so to speak. But having said that, I think he would need more games under his belt to come back to the classic Nadal that we know. Talking about Novak Djokovic, it's been a phenomenal year for that guy. He's lost just about 6 games this calendar year. From January 2013 to this period, he's been thrashing everybody. And you mentioned it. He met Andy Murray in the semi-final, defeated Andy Murray with
6-1.
With Amelia Mauresmo back.
68 minutes.
Amelia Mauresmo back.
I think she's
coming back from maternity.
Mauresmo has double duties now.
But Djokovic didn't even make that count. Defeated him, thrashed him very, very convincingly, and then make Joe Tsonga. None of them has even been able to take the game to the 3rd set. That is what is even painful.
Yeah.
You know, you are able to match the opponent and then take him to the 3rd set and then see, you know, if you can get something out of it. But as it stands, 2 sets, Novak doesn't want to waste time these days. And I think he may dominate the game the way Roger Federer, I know Jimmy won't like this, the way Roger Federer dominated the game for so many years as well. Novak, as we mentioned, 4 Grand Slams, he was in the final of every, won 3, only losing to Stan Wawrinka, and he's been winning all of the tournaments he's played. Jimmy mentioned the fact that
he's got 30. Has there been a better player?
Very, very doubtable. Very doubtable.
This is what we see when somebody is at the top and still say the top is not enough, because it's not just enough getting to the top, but remaining there. The guy decided to check his body weight.
Yep.
Change his diet. Wakes up. You know, he said, you know, he found out that between 5 to 7. You know, in the morning, the body weight, he gets up there, takes water. Yeah. So, in fact, this is somebody who's telling you, forget it, I am not leaving yet. I love where I am. But you see, when he started gradually, at a point, he was losing to people like Nadal. He wasn't feeling bad about it.
Wasn't feeling bad, yeah.
But suddenly, the guy everybody thought would not be there just came in and...
You remember when it was a joker?
he's still the jester on the court. That's the beauty about him.
Exactly.
He goes out there, mimic everybody. I remember the one he did about McEnroe. Okay. And then he knocks the ball, knocks it down, and then whatever. But this guy is a phenomenon. He's somebody is lovable. It's somebody you can love, somebody you can. That is what tennis needs it. I mean, Nadal fan. But Nadal plays with a kind of more seriousness, much more business-like. But this guy can be a Hollywood star.
But you ask yourself, for how long do you think Nadal will hold up? It looks like the injury has really affected his confidence, it's affected his
psyche.
The psyche, the gameplay. Psychologically, he looks a little bit devastated. It doesn't seem he's going to come out of it. You ask yourself, for Novak Djokovic, notching 10 Grand Slams, he's gaining ground on someone like Nadal. Because one thing that is very important for all these superstars, so to say, will be the total number of Grand Slams they win. You ask yourself, why is Roger Federer in the game?
Okay, why is Roger Federer in the game? Well, we ask ourselves, the guy is still there. And I think when you talk about destroying his confidence, I remember the encounter between Djokovic and Nadal at the French Open. And I think that was where Djokovic said, I have arrived. Even then, Djokovic didn't arrive at that same French Open. One Swiss guy, he brought that to Federer. Just locking behind. Wawrinka was the man who did the damage there. I remember. These are just interlopers. Wawrinka did it. A few years back, it was Sutherland. That came in. Robin Sutherland that beat. That's the only time that Roger Federer was able to do that. I think the guy Federer should owe Sutherland some. Anyway, that is tennis. So tennis, we talk a lot of tennis here, and we are. But then the question of we ask is, the ministers have been screened. I think 10 of them have been screened and passed, and the former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Raji Fashola, is one of those ministers who has been screened and confirmed. So we in sport, are we asking? We know he played. He played football. We know what he did in Lagos as a governor. Saying, look, against all temptations, Lagos State didn't have a football team, so we're not going to do that. We want to bring the private sector. Do you support? We are saying, is it good enough to be in sport, or do you want him to be in order? If you have the choice of who should be the minister of sport, will you go for Babatunde Fashola? That is the question of the day. So we're reading your tweet, we're taking your calls. We're going to open the lines this early for today so that you can be part of the show and then make all your contributions. But then let's just take a little trip to FIFA. We thought it's only Africa that accused of all this corruption. Now we are hearing that Germany paid £5 million. There was already the case of gentleman agreement between Blatter and Platini. That you are going to do this job for me, and I will pay you so amount of money. No documentations, nothing, no contract, no other thing. But then let us start with Germany. Did they buy that in ahead of South Africa? South Africa was hosted 2006. Now we are saying South Africa paid 10 million for 2010 in the diaspora to go to the Caribbean to go and develop sport. But before then, Germany did it to them, according to the allegation. How does it sound in your ears?
I mean, this is something that came as a little bit of surprise. The reason being that one would not have thought a country like Germany would be involved in something like this. But it only shows the fact that the whole of FIFA would most likely, the way it's going, be affected. That means there has to be a full clearing out. That means we'll still be looking at a possibility of some things having gone wrong in 2002, in 1998. However, the truth has to be said, the way it's going, the only solution probably would be that influential governments, as it were, would need to come in. The same governments that FIFA naturally never loved to come into the issues might have to mediate, because we're talking about a sport that is supposed to be like a mediating factor for all humanity. Now, that will be the question. You see the Germans, they're now involved. There's the talk of the slush fund that had been, used to move these monies. I mean, it's not really looking good. That's why I said the other time that Ayatu himself might find himself being on the center stage at a point in time. I'm telling you, you ask yourself, how is he going to extricate himself? He looks like a web, an all-consuming web.
All-consuming web. I think all-consuming web. I like that. All-consuming web. I come with all-consuming web. First, so the three most powerful men in football: Sepp Blatter, Jerome Valcke, Michel Platini, all suspended. And then this is touching Franz Beckenbauer. This is touching Beckenbauer. Now, if it touches Beckenbauer, who remains? Now, we ask you the question: is anybody clean in FIFA? Is there a clean person in FIFA? Is there a clean team? Is there Jack Warner, Amos Adamu? You know, is there who is clean in FIFA? Please, when join this conversation as we are throwing this to you. Everything, no holds barred. Let us take the best in world sports and then push it on.